When you think about retirement, what do you picture? This? Or this? Retirement seems to be the main goal for everyone in the workforce. The grass that is greener on the other side of the fence. Light at the end of the long, dark, work-loaded tunnel. It's what most people feel is their reward after working for over 30 years for 40 hours a week. It's what they deserve. It's what they're meant to have. This seems to be true. It should be true. But most of the time, it isn't. More often than not, when you retire, you don't actually retire. You struggle with bills every single month. People don't retire with all the freedom they're promised, all the freedom they expect, all the freedom they plan to have. Why is that? Aren't we all supposed to be guaranteed a future? The simple answer is no. This is how I felt when I found this out. When you know this, though, you're ahead of most other people. Let me show you some data that might surprise you. The median American household has $100,000 to $190,000 saved up by the time they retire. I use the median because the average is much higher. There are so many richer people in America that the average is obviously going to be higher. So we take the middle amount, which is the median. The actual number is actually closer to 170,000. So let's use that as a base. Another study says that the median total retirement income, including any savings they have, any contributions to their Roth IRAs or 401ks, along with any pensions that they get from the government, for white individuals is around $24,000 a year, for Hispanics around $13,500, and for blacks close to $20,000 every single month. This is including social security checks. Let's consider the median average income for the population is about $22,000 a year. That is around that's this much per month. For 40% of the population, however, people only rely on social security, a check that's cut at about $1,000 to $1,300 every single month. That's how much you have to live on forever. In the UK, according to a government site, the average pension for people in the UK is £134.25, which is a meager £537 every single month to live on. It's actually closer to about £304 per month, which comes to £1,216 every single month. And this includes all of their personal savings, social security, whatever they have saved up until that point. These are people who have worked their entire lives and expect to have a future, living on that much every single month. And if they actually planned up to this point, otherwise they'll get 134. Brazil is even more depressing, where after a long career, you can expect that the government will pay you 1,000 to 2,000 reais every single month for your troubles, which comes to around $200 to $400 every single month. This hardly pays the bills, even over here, because the general household only has one working adult, which has to cover all the costs of the families. Usually that's how it's made up here. Why is this so prevalent? What is everybody doing? Check out this statistic. Just 7% of UK adults know what age they want to retire at, and just 3% think this is a very important number to know, how much they plan to retire on and what age they plan to retire at. 3%. 3 out of 100 people think about this number. Think about that for a bit. Something that's apparently so important but hardly anyone knows, or hardly anyone thinks about. If I were to wager a bet, this statistic repeats around the world. But that's fine, right? People save money for that. They obviously plan ahead. I mean, everyone knows you get old and can't be working forever, right? Right? Wrong. There is a dire lack of financial education in the general population. This may come as no surprise, but it's worse than it seems because people are retiring poor and staying poor forever because of no financial education when they were young or younger. People seem to think there's going to be some magical fairy of retirement that will save them from all of their sins and all of their bad choices. This simply isn't true. If you expect the government to pay for your retirement after living, expect hardly anything. For a country to go forward, the government needs you to be working. If you're not working, you're not contributing, you're no longer a useful part of society. So you get your little stipend to stay out of everyone's business. And this is at a point that your medical bills are sky high. They skyrocket. And if your country doesn't have a free health system, good luck. So in other words, if you don't start saving for retirement now, you've condemned yourself to poverty. But there is a way out, and it isn't really difficult. It's not rocket science. It's a little bit hard to do because it requires discipline and a little bit of sacrifice. Let's get into that. The easiest way to do this is start making these good habits quick and early at a young age, because they'll stay with you throughout your whole life. And good money-making habits can never be taken away from you, not even if you lose your job. And the money you make early is the best money you'll ever make in your life because it has time to grow. Time you can use, along with compound interest, to make your money into a substantial nest egg so you can retire comfortably and not rely on the government. The government will actually pay you a bonus for retiring because you already have all of your retirement needs and you get a little bit more from the government every month to spend on pocket change. Now, disclaimer, this wouldn't be a serious financial channel if I didn't have a video on compound interest, this magical phenomenon that multiplies your money for free over time, exponentially. It's the so-called eighth wonder of the world. Now, when I make this video, this will appear here, so stay tuned for that. Back to retirement. So what are the best ways to have money for retirement? Let's use the government. The government actually helps you retire. Isn't that amazing? The government helping? Use it while you can, as much as you can. In the US, there are the so-called Roth IRAs and 401ks. Roth IRAs are accounts that you pay with post-tax dollars. They can contribute as of 2019-20, $6,000 every single year. You can withdraw them tax-free. 401ks are a bit of the opposite, where you contribute pre-tax dollars from your employer or other methods, and you withdraw them later in life, at a pre-established time, and you withdraw them later in life. The UK has ISA accounts, ISA packets, ISA, that are similar to these tax havens in these aspects that you don't pay tax on whatever gains you make through these accounts. So you can contribute up to £20,000 as of 2020 every single year, and these should be maxed out because they are completely tax-free. Whatever money you make inside them will not be taxed. Now, I will make a video explaining exactly how Roth IRAs, 401ks, ISA packets work at a later time. And when it's done, that video will be here. So many videos to make. And Brazil has no such tax havens. You make your money as you see fit, and whatever you have, you retire on. Have fun with that. Over here, you invest for yourself. Because as we're still a third world country, we'll eventually get to the first world level, right? Through these accounts, you should save up for the long term. Now this applies to all of your investments, but these are the most important because they're so easy to do. They're offered to every single citizen, and you should max them out every single year. Doing this, you'll already have a substantial nest egg. You can keep quite a bit of money in these. And you'll already be way above the general populace if you do this. Just if you do this. Of course, there are a million other ways to save more money because then you use compound interest in your favor. The more money you save, the earlier you save it, the more money you'll have later for retirement. You have to sacrifice a few things early to have more freedom later. And freedom is the name of the game because you buy time with freedom. And time cannot be bought any other way. If you don't spend your time earning for when you're older, when you're young, you'll find time runs out very quickly when you're older. You don't purchase this time when you're younger, where it's much cheaper than when you're older, you'll find a whole lack of time when you retire. Why is this, you might ask? Because money is cheaper early because you have so much time to let it grow. So you pay a much lower price for the same end goal. If you have multiple citizenships, you should max out all these tax havens that you can. I know about the US and the UK, but there are a few countries that also have these tax havens. Now, disclaimer, I am not a tax advisor. I do not know international law. This is an educational channel for fun. I'm not a professional. Got that out of the way. Consult a tax advisor or someone who knows international law, a professional, to make sure you aren't evading taxes by mistake. Because tax evasion will land you in prison. Good luck saving money in prison. For a more comprehensive guide of how to save money in a step-by-step guide, check out this video right here. This will be a series I'm making that you can follow step by step, and I'll see you soon over there. See ya!